Oh boy, so this is going to be a fun one. Welcome back, guys. This is VIN 218-0218, and it is a 2016 ultra white paint code 083 with LA30 interior. It's the most common color combination that you find on these cars. It's for sale at a dealer in New York, and it's one of these where it says call for price, and it has 76,000 miles, but as far as what they're asking, this car probably is in the area of like the low to mid 40s, I would guess, but I don't have a price to go off of. The dealer in New York that's selling this car, they have a reputation in the GSF community for selling cars that have kind of a history, unreported paintwork, trying to hide a few things. And so this car, it definitely falls in line with that, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. There is a lot to unpack for this car. This car has been for sale for quite a long time, I think since November of 2024. So let's get into the production statistics, and then I'll get into the Carfax and everything else, and we'll see what we find here. So production statistics, you heard me say that this is the most common color combination, and it's 647 cars out of the 2347 for the US, 49 everywhere except Hawaii were ultra white. 647. Of those 647, 360 had the LA30 interior, which is the red interior. White with red. It is the most common color combination for these cars. And here's another one. For 2016 specifically, there were 370 out of the 1,417 cars that were made, and 212 of those had the LA30 red interior. So this is one of 212 cars. As far as GSFs go, very common. If you see a white one for sale, pretty good chance you're gonna find one has a red interior. And so this is one of those. Being VIN 0218, the very first production VIN after the pre-production cars was VIN 0137. So that makes this car, for the US 49, it's the 43rd produced. So it's pretty early in line with the production. I didn't run an auto check on this one because you don't need it after you see what I find here, but Carfax, 3 owner, 5 accidents, and it's 2017 the front, 2018 the front, 2019 the right front, 2020 the front, 2022 the left and right sides. Epic VIN shows it as a 3 owner, 6 accident car, and so it's everything that Carfax had, except there's another one in 2019 affecting the left and the right side. So basically this car has been in an accident involving everywhere except the rear with 6 accidents. So I think it's safe to say this is a 3 owner, 6 accident car, still has a clean title. Previous sales, so it was first listed for sale, being this is one of the early cars. It was listed for sale in December of 2015 for 87,000 miles in Illinois. And the next dealer sale was August 2nd of 2024 for $36,000, which is probably where this car really needs to be. 75,000 miles in Tennessee at CarMax. I say CarMax, and I'll get into it more in the service history, but well, no, I'll go ahead and talk about it now. These kind of cars seem to find CarMax too, and I don't know why. Maybe just people trade in their cars that have issues, and then CarMax will try to address and restore some of this before they put it up for sale, and that's what they did here. So there's actually somebody that I'm close with that went to go look at this car when it was at CarMax in Tennessee, and they had the inspection report from CarMax. They noted that it had a leaking valley plate. It had both front headlights replaced. It had a aftermarket exhaust mid-pipe. It had an aftermarket intake, which was removed, and it had 2 tires replaced. They repaired the carbon fiber on the passenger side dash, and you can see it's not a very good repair. It's it looks off. It's not shiny like it normally is, kind of a matte finish with a rough finish to it. So I think that there was an attempt that was made, but at $36,000 with 75,000 miles, even though this car has had 5 or 6 accidents prior to when it was for sale at CarMax, I think the price was right. And it would be a great driver's car at that point, because value be damned, you just go drive it, go enjoy it, because it is a fun car. It has a history, yes, but you just go enjoy it. And I think that the person that bought it at CarMax, that's probably what ended up happening. But if you look on the service history, and I'll get to that again in a minute, somebody did a pre-purchase inspection on it, and it had a leaking valley plate, which was not addressed, and CarMax didn't address it either. So there is a $2,000+ repair that's sitting right there that this car will need no matter what. We'll jump, more on the CarMax stuff later, but then the next sale, it was for sale at a dealer auction in November of 2024, and it looks like this dealer bought it. And so I have here's a screenshot here of when it was for sale at the dealer auction at Mannheim, and I'm not going to tell you where I got that from. November 2024, this dealer lists it for $45,000, and the $45,000, but it has 200 more miles than when it was at CarMax. So the price went up $9,000, the mileage went up 200 miles, and that's where it sat until at least late July or beginning of August 2025. So not quite a year that this car sat for sale, and I think with the other people doing pre-purchase inspections, looking at the Carfax, I think that was enough to turn people off. But again, I think the price for this car should probably be in the mid-30s, like just above where the rebuilt title cars are. The rebuilt title cars are 28 to 32,000. This at 35,000 would probably be where I would expect it, considering the vast history and the number of accidents that this car has, but still has a clean title. Like I would call it clean title barely. CarMax, as I said, they spent a pretty penny reconditioning this car, and when they replaced both front headlights, that was $7,000, $8,000 that they spent just for those two pieces. Then they had the carbon fiber repair, but they did that, there's some labor involved, so you have to take the glove box apart, take the piece out. They paid somebody to do that. They didn't do a very good job with it, but there was money spent there. They replaced 2 tires. There were some other things that they addressed, and there was a lot that CarMax did to recondition this car, and it still had a past. Another note, the front rotors are on backwards. So if you look at the front rotors, the tops of the hashes should be pointing backwards, and these are pointing forwards. These are directional rotors, so they're on backwards. And there is a left front, a right front, a left rear, and a right rear for these cars. There's 4 different rotors. Looking at the interior photos that this dealer in New York that has provided, it looks like the center console carbon fiber is just starting to delaminate. So you've got that to replace too, along with, if you want to fix that poorly repaired one, that's on you. But it's got some more dollars you're going to have to spend on it, even at $45,000. But I think this should be closer to $35,000, and you've still got $2,000 for a valley plate leak that exists, that it's going to have to be repaired. And then you've got the carbon fiber pieces, maybe lower control arm bushings, anything else that may be hiding with this car. But it's one of those, you have to get it cheap enough, otherwise it just doesn't make financial sense, and walk away from it. And the service history is no different than the rest of the car. And it doesn't surprise you in the slightest. 2017, 10,000 miles. The pre-collision, the front grille emblem was replaced, along with the front and rear brakes at 10,000 miles. Pretty quick, pretty soon. I know the brakes on these can only last 25, 30,000 miles, but replacing them at 10,000 miles, said the rotors already had a groove in them. That's what the service history said. 2017, 12,000 miles. The spiral cable for the airbag was replaced. So the steering wheel clock spring assembly was replaced. Those are about $400 to replace, but probably under warranty. 2018, the center trim panel was damaged from liquid, and it looks like they replaced it. So I think they're talking about the storage box underneath the center console. Also in 2018, the JLB recall was done. That's the high pressure fuel pumps. So good to see that that's done. 2018, also a check engine light. It doesn't say what it was. It was probably a loose gas cap. That seems to be common that you see that on the service history. The storage box to the left of the steering wheel was noted as not working. And so that's just like a little coin storage tray that sits next to the steering wheel. 2019, there's a burning smell and hanging wires. And they noted that they hit an animal, so they tried to clean what they could from underneath it and repair the O2, the oxygen sensor wiring harness. So, you know, it just keeps going. 2020, the KLG reprogramming was done. That's the GPS showing in the wrong location. Like if you're on the main highway, it shows you off on the side road or something like that. That was done on this. Good to see. That's pretty common on these, especially the earlier ones. 2020, the backup camera reported not working. 2020, also low oil warning and front brakes. Nothing else came about of it other than it was reported with low oil. 2020, front bumper repair, passenger front. They drove over a parking block. 2020 again, front splash shield was damaged. And those are expensive. Those are $400 something, something like that for the splash shield. Probably related to parking curbs or something along those lines, but it was damaged. And 2020 again, wheel repair. And it says it needs to go to body shop for splash shields front and back to replace. And the backup camera is once again not working. So that's something I would look at if you're considering this car. And then there's a pretty big gap, and it ends up into 2024 into a pre-purchase inspection with the valley plate noted as leaking. Also noted, needs 2 tires. And there's some other concerns, exhaust concerns, things like that. And maybe related to that mid pipe. And that's a pretty common mod on these cars that people do, is just the mid pipe. So you get a little bit more sound out of the exhaust. And so that could be what the pre-purchase inspection concern was on that. That's it on the service history. You can see that there is a lot going on with this car. And the dealer that's selling it, again, pretty typical for what you would see at this dealer from the other cars that I've reviewed that they've sold, except for one. But would I buy this car? I would run, not walk away from this car. There are so many better options. Even if you got this for $35,000, not $45,000, which is what they appear to be asking, $35,000, I probably still wouldn't buy it. You know, it's just got so many issues. It's winter driven. Let's see. It's an Illinois car until 2021, then Tennessee, then Pennsylvania, now New York. So winter driven, winter owned, Salt State owned, 6 accidents, quite the service history. It's good that it's been Lexus serviced, but I mean, so many issues. And there are so many better options out there than this car when it comes to shopping for GSF. So if you're looking for one that's like value be damned, you don't care what it's worth, you don't care about the history, by all means go buy it. But you have a valley plate leak to fix. You've got other potential gotchas other than just the carbon fiber, things like that, that are going to be an issue. And obviously the valley plate leak is an immediate issue. That needs to happen, otherwise you're gonna start leaking coolant. You know, there's gonna be other issues that arise because of that. So the minute you buy it, you have a $2,000 service that you have to take care of. Get it at a third-party mechanic, maybe $1,200, $1,500, but the point being, it's a 4-figure repair no matter what, no matter how you look at it. And so there's money that's gotta get spent on this car. That's what I've got on VIN 218. Run away. There are many other options. So thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.